Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this the NewzBeat presented to you by Ladies Like and Jess Sentino. Follow the beat from the studio to the street. Info with the flow keeps you sharp and in the know. Sit back, relax, enjoy the news. Follow. What if your government made a promise to create the kind of change you would notice? To reduce real estate prices, to create jobs that impact lives, to cut down on tax invasion simply by changing the money in circulation. This is the move that India has made by changing the cash that is in trade.
Narendra Modi, the Indian Prime Minister, scrapped the 1,500 rupee as legal tender. The government made the move at night so offenders wouldn't have time to hide their legal and undeclared assets by exchanging gold for old rupee notes.
The notes have to be exchanged in the bank, which will reveal money that wasn't taxed. It also helps the government with tax collection, and also untaxed money finally enters the system.
Real estate is primarily paid in cash, so the prices will fall in a flash, creating demand for more real estate that is affordable and ultimately creating jobs for 1 million individuals.
The old rupee notes may be worth nothing, but this bold move is a sign of something. Change is coming. There's just one question. Could Uganda learn a lesson from India? Could we crush corruption with a change in currency?
Bridge International is a private enterprise based in the United States of America that runs more than 400 nurseries and primary schools across Asia and Africa. The academies, which are also funded by tech billionaires Mark Zuckerberg and Bill Gates, offer the required technology-based education at affordable rates. However, in August this year, the academies were ordered to close by the Ugandan parliament after an assessment from education inspectors from the Ugandan government revealed that the school sanitation and infrastructure were in a sorry state, and the academic qualification of the teaching staff were inadequate. The findings further revealed that most of the academies were not properly registered and licensed to operate, and the schools had not adopted the national curriculum yet. Although Uganda's education ministry had ordered all 63 campuses to be closed during the school's second term, the process was altered to allow the students to sit for their exams. However, High Court Judge Patricia Basazawaswa ruled in favor of closing the academies due to the appealing conditions, and the education ministry insisted that the court order be put in motion. Despite the Bridge academies filing for a notice of appeal against the court's decision, High Court ruling affected 1,200 students on the Bridge school's enrollment and about 800 people that the academies provided employment. The education ministry says that the schools will remain closed until they have the demanded requirements and operate within the ministry's guidelines and its contentment. The challenges of the Bridge International schools in Uganda have also been encountered in Kenya, as the Kenyan government issued new regulations to improve the quality of education in these academies at the beginning of this year. Trump is America's new elected president. Our reporter MC Yala is here with more details.
Donald Trump defeated Hillary Rodham Clinton to become the United States of America's 45th president after a bitter campaign between the two candidates resulted into a historic election upset. Miss Hillary Clinton conceded to her opponent over the phone, after which Donald Trump was invited to the White House by outgoing President Barack Obama for a transition planning session. However, Donald Trump's shock victory was met with countrywide protests as thousands took to the streets and blocked highways and interstates. Incensed crowds in New York City also gathered outside Trump Tower, home of the president-elect, shouting anti-Donald Trump slogans to show their discontent. The protests were predominantly peaceful across the United States, but violence erupted in Portland, where about 4,000 people had participated in a night protest. Businesses were vandalized and at least 26 people were arrested. To the immigrant community, hopelessness and fear has been the root of the protests, as many are weary that Trump could act on his threats to deport undocumented immigrants and build a wall along the border of Mexico and the United States. Crowds also gathered at a 2018 World Cup qualifier game between Mexico and the United States to make a statement of building bonds, not walls, amid slogans of "Dump Trump" and "Not my president." However, President-elect Donald Trump dismissed the protest through social media, calling it an act of professional protesters incited by the media. But before Donald Trump addresses the divisive and hateful things he said on his campaign trail and debates, he has already been called upon to denounce an upcoming KKK parade to be held in North Carolina to congratulate the business magnate. In the meantime, the controversial Republicans' first task will be to gain the confidence of a divided country, and has already started choosing an administration that will help him with the task ahead when he formally becomes president in January. I'm MC Yala, reporting for NewzBeat.
Thank you, MC Yala, for that report. Virginity testing in South Africa is causing tension, a clash between human rights and tradition. Culture activists say it's protected by the Constitution, but human rights activists consider it discrimination, as well as a violation of a young girl who must meet this condition. There was always controversy about testing of virginity for girls to qualify for the Reed Dance ceremony, a Zulu celebration of girls' transition to womanhood that involves a week of learning about maidenhood. Debate has been reignited by awarding bursaries to 16 young unmarried women with proven virginity. The scholarship is awarded on the condition that they remain virgins during their education. The bursary was announced by the Uthukela District Council to curb pregnancy and HIV/AIDS in KwaZulu-Natal province. But the South African Commission of Gender Equality ruled it unlawful as a practice that increases gender disparity. Virginity inspectors say they can tell who had sexual intercourse, but critics say their methods have no scientific source. It holds girls and boys to different standards, causing discrimination, and is not related to academic potential or right to education. At the center of the debate is South Africa's constitution, which protects human rights as well as tradition. Many Zulu girls say they respect the ritual, but the question remains, can they know at such an age if the ritual is sacred tradition, or this is a case of physical violation? If there's anybody out there having skills and wants to be part of the NewzBeat team, please send us a video of you presenting a piece, reading news in rap. Mail it to newsbeatuganda@gmail.com or newsbeatuganda@facebook.com. That was the news on the beat. Next week will be another hit. Still ladies like I'm Jess Sentino, reporting live and direct with love and respect. Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.
Yes, follow the beat.
Follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat, follow the beat.
Yes, follow